right, so jumping into another D3 football player to D1 athlete video. Um, you can see that I am in my Sunday fit, but I got my workout stuff on off under this. We got shorts on today. I'm gonna see what different shorts maybe make and help us get a little bit of speed instead of being in pants, which can like kind of restrict you a little bit. So I'm gonna try that out. I don't think it's gonna make a difference at all. I work out in pants all the time. I don't notice any difference between when I work out in pants and when I work out in shorts, but some people say they do, so we're going to find out. But max velocity today, I'm not lifting today. Spring ball starts tomorrow. Have a lift in the morning. It's upper body, or at least it should be. If it's lower body, I'm going to be kind of pissed because I just don't want to deal with that. But sprinting today, we're going to do a couple max velocity sprints, some flex leg bounds or some flex leg primes, I should say. Flex leg bounds, a little bit different. Even though they're so similar in name, it is like somewhat different stimulus. But I'm extending the distance on those, so I'm going to do like 4x30 yards when we were doing like 6x20, 5x20. So you can notice like the total yardage is kind of like the same, maybe a little bit higher. And then I'm going to drop my wicket volume down a little bit. And we'll also do straight leg bounds for a little higher volume. I think those are getting me a better late swing phase to help me get that leg kind of through faster so I can get more front side and drive that leg down, which is the more I can push this leg into the ground, even though it's such an elastic movement with such a muscular dominant athlete, you want to be able to push this leg and pull it down with as much force as possible. That's the way I'm going to be the fastest. It's just how it works out, at least in theory. That's what I'm thinking. So we're going to figure that out. And then yeah, I mean, I got my own timer here today, so we're not on the free lap, so we'll see the difference in those timers. I think the free lap's a little bit faster just because it has a wider radius of when, like, the chip will go off. But without further ado, let's get into a max velocity total track day. All right, so ran in shorts today. Not a great sprint day, so that totally negates the whole thing of if you're running shorts, you're going to be faster, da-da-da-da. However, I did love how my legs were looking when I was running, so that's a beautiful thing. But ran like a little, like 18.7, which is a slow day for me now. But you got to think that was like a PR for us a couple weeks ago. So we're consistently under the 110 mark, just barely today, 1.098. So like high 18s, not super fast, not a great day. But just start getting rid of more of those times and consistently have. It's not about PRing every day. It's not even about how fast my times are every day. It's the main thing is going out and sprinting is the main thing. It's a great stimulus on your nervous system. It's applying more stress than anything else could. And if you want to get faster sprinting, you got to go sprint. So those are the main reasons. But in terms of times, we don't need a PR all the time because you literally you got to think about what a PR is. That's the fastest you've ever moved in your life, right? So that's not going to come around every single training session, or like it shouldn't unless you're like the slowest person ever and gains are just easy, super easy to come by. What is important is to get rid of the bad times. So like if you like averaged out your times every day, your average should be going up. Like I'm trying to get rid of like those slow days, like especially with my clients. Like we're not PRing every time in there, but if our like worst times that day that's what I'm really looking at is what is our worst time for the day. And I'm tracking our PRs, but I'm looking at our worst time. And I'm like, okay, is our worst times consistently getting lower, right? Because like we want to be able to perform that speed at that intensity consistently, and that's where like the real gains are. But I've been yapping a little bit. That's what you should look at in your speed training. Now, let's get into our sprint plyos, bounds, bent knee primes, straight leg bounds, bent knee primes, and some wickets. So just ran our first set of wickets. I spaced them too far. I did 7 feet today instead of 6 because 6 felt really short. But the whole point of it is to get your foot down fast and to have a quick ground reaction time, or not ground reaction time, like quick backside recovery and be able to get that back leg out in front as quick as possible and kind of be off as much front side as possible, because that's like the biggest thing that you can affect when it comes to max velocity. So that was too far. I was reaching out in front of me way too much. So this time I moved it to like 6.5 feet. We're gonna see how that feels. I think it'll be smooth, but trying to maintain speed over all of them and then have that quick, repeated motion of trying to get our thighs to the thighs to pass when my foot is hitting the ground. That is where we're trying to get to right now. I think that's the biggest difference in my max velocity and where I can find the most gains. So that's literally what most, like 90% of my training is focused on when it comes to anything on the track. But crappy first rep. Let's get into our second rep. All right, that last set of wickets felt much better, felt much smoother, better in the front side. I can just look at my technique though when I watch those through, and I notice like such a big difference in my sprint form and how much more relaxed and controlled I look and natural, which goes to show like how much sprinting does for you. It's not always about, okay, this is going to help you produce force, this is going to help you do this. So much of sprinting is just being able to coordinate muscles and activate them at the right time and relax them even faster. The key to athleticism and being an elite athlete is not how much force you can put into the ground, how fast you can contract your leg, and all this. It's how fast you can relax the body and turn off the antagonist. I'll just make it very simple. Turn off the muscles that operate in direct contrast to what you're doing. It's not about how fast and how much power you can produce with the muscles you're trying to use. It's how fast you can relax the ones that are going to fight against them. For example, my psoas, right, is going to pull myself into hip flexion. My glute is going to fire to get us into hip extension. You notice with my straight leg bounds, when we have a straight leg, we're no longer able to use our hamstrings to help pull our leg to the ground. So once we're going into that extension, it's all in our glute. And when we're pulling it up, it's all in our psoas. So relaxing and contracting those faster and faster is what we're getting those gains from. So that's why you need to do the sprinting stuff. It's not all about force. It's kind of about coordination, learning movement, and being able to better regulate your body in those spaces. And that's really the key to getting like elite speed and changing your athleticism for good. That's my little tidbit for you. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you watching and staying to watch this long. You're a real one. A lot of people who are watching are not subscribed, like 90%. So if you're watching this, you like the content, please go and subscribe. I'm going to put my thing right here and a video recommended for you right here. Thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.